Tsubasa's second arrival in Hokkaido didn't feel like an exile, but like a return to a stage where his old self had died. The air, sharp as knives, reminded him of his first awkward encounter with this white land. But now, every snowflake falling on his shoulders seemed to greet a transformed version of himself. He was no longer the boy from Tokyo who froze at the bus stop. He carried in his eyes the confidence of someone who had learned to decipher the code of this place and its inhabitants. It had all begun with Minami, whose name meant Beauty of the South in perfect irony, as she was the undisputed queen of this frozen north. Their first meeting, years ago, was etched in his memory. Her emerging from the blizzard like a blonde ghost, wearing only casual clothes while he shivered inside 3 layers of coats. That girl who had once playfully shoved snow down his neck, whose laughter echoed through school hallways like bells defying winter, now walked beside him not as a chaotic force, but as his anchor in this world that was once foreign to him. Between them, a dance of misunderstandings had been woven, gradually giving way to a deeper understanding. He remembered with embarrassment those early visits to her house, where every gesture from Minami, a casual touch, a prolonged smile, led him to wrong conclusions. The night they watched a movie, and she fell asleep on his shoulder, he had remained motionless for hours, feeling the weight of her trust as the most precious gift anyone had ever given him. It was in those moments of shared silence that the man he now was began to be born. But Minami wasn't the only thread in this tapestry that had woven his new life. Sayori, with her violet hair and her world of video games, had entered his life as the perfect counterpoint. Where Minami was fire and spontaneity, Sayori was solid ground and silent complicity. The afternoons they spent together, shoulder to shoulder, conquering digital realms, taught him that there were different forms of intimacy. The triangle they formed wasn't one of competition, but of balances and tacit understandings. Sayori, with her gaze that saw more than she said, always knew that Tsubasa's heart beat faster whenever Minami entered the room, and instead of pulling away, she became the most faithful witness to their story. The complicity between the 3 women reached its peak during the Valentine's Day chocolate incident. Minami had spent days preparing handmade chocolates for Tsubasa, but a domestic accident ruined them all. Devastated, she could only give him a simple candy. Seeing her tears, Tsubasa, in an act that surprised even himself, sat down at the school piano and played the song she always sang at karaoke. It was Sayori who, recognizing the depth of the gesture, gave Tsubasa the chocolates she herself had prepared in secret, not as a declaration, but as an acknowledgement of what they meant to each other. The path wasn't without greater obstacles. When Rina, the perfect student, appeared as his tutor, Tsubasa faced his most difficult challenge. His grandmother Kane had given him an ultimatum: rank in the top 10 of his class, or return to Tokyo. The study sessions with Rina, initially marked by formality, turned into an unexpected friendship when she recognized in him a determination that mirrored her own. The date they had as fulfillment of their academic agreement almost endangered everything built so far, until Minami and Sayori, after following them on a spying mission full of jealousy and comedy, understood that what united Reina and Tsubasa was the mutual recognition of 2 souls fighting to overcome themselves. The moment of greatest transformation came with Minami's trip abroad, when she announced she was leaving for 2 weeks for a makeup course. Tsubasa felt his world crumbling. Their farewell in the Cherry Blossom Park was a day of revelations. The red bracelet he gave her, the photos they took as a promise for the future, and the unexpected night at the hotel when they missed the last transport back. That dawn, while he slept exhausted, Minami kissed his forehead and fled, believing her love was unrequited. The next day, finding the hairpin she had forgotten, Tsubasa ran to the airport in an act of romantic desperation he didn't even know he was capable of. His confession under the terminal lights that he had learned to love Hokkaido only because she was in it resonated as the final point of his metamorphosis. Now back in the present, Tsubasa walked through the streets of a town that was no longer alien to him. At school awaited not only Minami, but an entire ecosystem of relationships he had built. Sayori and her video games, Reina and her intellectual conversations, Matsuo and his simple friendship, even his grandmother Kane, whose severity hid a story of resilience that only with time had he learned to decipher. The cold no longer bothered him. It had become the embrace of a place that, against all odds, had turned out to be his true home. The snow he once cursed now fell with the tenderness of greeting an old friend, a silent witness to how a boy who arrived as nobody had found in the most unexpected place everything he needed to become somebody.